Okay, good morning, world. How are we today? Okay, so this morning, I said to you guys in the last video, well, actually the last two, that I was going to find more positive things to talk about. Lighter, brighter, happier news from around the world to talk about. And I literally this morning, because I had a doctor's appointment and I had an hour to wait in the car for them to open. I literally just typed into my Google search bar, good news today. And it came up with a website that was good news today. And so it's on this day, throughout history, good things that have happened, and then just good news pieces from around the world, that have happened recently. And so I thought, oh, this is awesome. I'm going to do this all the time, because some of the news pieces on there were cute fuzzy stuff, a lady that was basically just going for a hike, but it was really cold weather, and then this tiny little bird flying up to her and resting on top of her camera camera that was around her neck, snuggling into her chest for warmth because it was cold. How sweet, how cute. And then there was stuff about paleontologists and all those folk, scientists, discovering ancestors of ours coming from Africa, and how it's sort of it's changing the way that they're seeing the evolution of humans, of humanoids, hominids, and that lots of different, various different species of humans coexisted at the same time, interbred with each other, even lived alongside apes that they evolved from. So all of that stuff I think is still good news, because don't we want to understand a bit more about our history and where we come from, and I'm not, I know I've made it very clear I'm Christian, but I still have space in my brain for the possibility that early man existed in various forms, and that over time, just with different civilizations that have existed, you know what I mean? I just sort of see it the same way that. Anyway, and what other stories did we find? I found another story about a Italian-Swiss father who was able to save 10 young adults who were celebrating the new year at that Constellation bar in Sweden, purely because his daughter had wanted to stop in and have a glass of champagne with him for the new year, and say their best wishes to each other. And I just think that's so beautiful that she was even, thinking of her father and stopping in and celebrating with him a little bit before she had planned to meet up with her boyfriend at that bar. And the fact that she was late and had arrived after midnight meant that when she arrived, she saw fire and things, and called her father, and he just grabbed his own fire extinguisher from home and raced over, because he didn't live far, and was able to break in and save 10 people and get them medical help and all that sort of stuff. I just think that's such a beautiful story as well. I mean, obviously it's very sad that a lot of people still lost their lives, but there is, sometimes out of terrible stories there is some real gems, isn't there? Some goodness that comes out of it as well. Not goodness, but do you know what I mean? Like there's good bits. And what else did we find? We also found a story about these monks who were on I think it was 112 day walk through India, a peace walk, and along their journey, this stray dog just joined their big group walking. And I mean, this dog even got hit by a car and fell ill and all this, and the monks tried to coax the dog to get on this truck and go and go get help, go get rest, go get better, and the dog just jumped off the truck and rejoined the monks, and didn't want to leave them, and has was just leading the monks on their walk. And now the monks are at a place in Texas, and they've got a 2,300 mile walk to promote unity and compassion from where they are to Washington DC, planned for October this year. And the dog is going to be doing it with them as well. The dog is still with them. It's just crazy. Isn't that amazing? This dog is just somehow energetically, spiritually connected to these monks. Just came out of nowhere, and just joining these monks on these peace walks. It's not like they're trying to make the dog stay or anything, it just is. And yeah, I mean, I think it's great anyway what the monks are doing. And I remember years ago, maybe nearly 10 years ago, anyway, there was a guy, I forget his name, it's evading me. I cannot think of his name. But anyway, there was this guy in Australia who was doing a similar thing all by himself. He just had a backpack and I think a swag, and was just walking around Australia, to just talk to people, picking up rubbish, sort of just on this one-man mission of breaking stigma, and planting trees was his thing as well. So planting trees, and you could donate money, for his travels, but also for these trees. And I just thought that was such a great thing that he was doing too. I wonder what's ever come of that guy. Hope he is doing well, because he obviously, did his bit in the world there with all the trees that he planted, and just talking to people along the way, it kind of like raises awareness and stuff too, doesn't it, about caring for your land, caring for nature. And even talking about that, I was surprised to learn recently that, like in Australia, we have a thing of, like, don't litter, man. Like, put your rubbish in bins. Take it with you if there's no bin around where you are, until you find a bin. Yeah, don't litter, because obviously it's bad for the environment. Like, we all know, plastic as well, like, takes forever to break down and all that. And then you've got, fires and stuff that, like, rubbish is just fuel for. And then you've got, like, obviously it is harmful for animals. Like, animals, like, might try to eat it and, like, choke and die, or get stuck in things and whatever, especially like in the water. Like, a lot of rubbish gets blown even into the water, and sea animals get stuck in it and die, and it's just, it's pollution, man. And I thought that was like everybody knew that, everybody thought about that, everybody was educated about that in school and all that thing, but apparently, like, and I stood up for, like, tourists and people who van life around Australia and all that sort of stuff, but apparently there is quite a lot of people who are, like, traveling around in vans, and they are from other countries, like they're tourists, and they just leave their rubbish wherever they stayed the night or week or whatever, and they just, like, leave it where it is. Like, sometimes they don't even make an effort to, like, pile it up for, like, a rubbish collector to, like, put in a truck. They just, like, literally leave it wherever it was chucked. And that surprised me so much to hear, because I thought that everybody cared about nature like that. I thought everybody knew to take their rubbish with them. And yeah, like, even, like, I don't know why, I just kind of assume that, like, people who go to, like, festivals and stuff like that are, like, more chill, nature-loving, cool type people. And it turns out that a lot of, apparently a lot of festival goers are doing, like, the same thing, like leaving tents and furniture and blow-up mattresses and all sorts of stuff laying around and rubbish laying around. And it's like, come on, guys, like, really? Like, yes, people can get called in to, like, clean it up, but, like, that's not, like, you have to have your own responsibility in life too, don't you? You have to have, like, a moral compass, and your moral compass should be telling you to bag up and take with you your crap, not leave it for someone else, or someone else's problem, or someone else will clean that up. You should care enough about the environment and also for other people not to have to pick up your trash. So little message out there for anyone who wants to van life it around Australia, as a tourist, or anyone even in Australia that litters. We call you a litter bug. Young kids growing up should be taught it. I've heard even of actually kids telling off their grandparents the littering because their grandparents weren't aware of that education. And the grandchildren being like, Grandpa, you can't chuck that rubbish there. And Grandpa being confused, like, why? Yeah, so anyway, don't litter. Don't litter. Take your rubbish with you. Pack up your crap. Take it with you. Be responsible. Be good. Be a good person. Yeah, anyway, so look, it's not a long video today. But excuse me, I'm looking a little not great this morning. But yeah, I really I enjoyed coming across this website too that was all about good news today. You should check it out. Google search it. You know, maybe that's something we should all just be doing on a regular basis. Maybe it's everyday ritual, you know, or you know, at least once a week or something. Sit down. You know, everyone's on their phones all the time. You know, mostly it's like doom scrolling, and you know, basically it's like waiting for something to jump out and entertain you or interest you, isn't it? But you know, maybe have a bit more intention behind it, and type in, you know, good news and see what comes up. Read some good news stories. Makes you feel good. Makes you feel warm and fuzzy. Makes you not think that the world is so doom and gloom as we can get, you know, just suck it into believing, you know. Even as I sat in the doctor's office this morning, you know, they got the radio playing, and on that, Trump tells the protesters in Iran, keep going, and if they touch you, don't worry, we're already on our way. I'm not going to tell you how or when, but we're already on our way. You know, it's just the Clintons. No, we're not complying with your home search and because obviously that's designed just to result in us being arrested and put in jail. Well, I mean, if you didn't do anything wrong and there was no evidence of that, then maybe you wouldn't be going to jail. But I can see that there are also times where we all know it seems like there's a bit of what's the word called? You know, where like people can get set up, like things can get planted, you know, conspiracies. Anywho, you know, yeah, that's just sitting in your doctor's office listening to doom and gloom on the radio. Yeah, but I was sitting there on my phone actually reading article upon article of good news. And I think I really encourage everyone to get amongst it and do it. Other things you can do are, you know, look into hobbies. Look into hobbies that are good for your soul. I think I've mentioned before, I knit, I crochet, I draw, I paint, I'm a gardener. You know, I spend a lot of time with my kids, especially, you know, with my kids doing hairstyles on me and stuff. Lately I find that very relaxing. Apart from if my hair's knotty and, you know, I don't brush very softly. Yeah, so anyway, I'm gonna leave it there, and you guys all have a good day. Find some good news to read about. I hope that my little good news tidbits, you know, made you feel good. Yeah, look into some hobbies that are relaxing for you, that you enjoy. And yeah, let's try to focus on good energy, positivity, shaking off all the grub and the negativity. That's what we have to do. We have to shake it off. All right, you guys have a good day, and I will see you in another video.